A lot of people believe that in order to start side hustles or small businesses, they need to pour a lot of money into those things from the beginning. But in today's episode, I'm going to share with you how, with the 3 different side hustles that I currently run while teaching as a full time high school choir teacher, I started those side hustles with $0 down. And here we are, and I am earning a minimum of $20,000 a year for each of those side hustles. And yes, at this point, I have invested a little bit of money into those different things, but I started as frugally as possible. Let's talk about it. This is Rich Teachers with Becky Park. A lot of what I'm going to share with you might be familiar if you already listened to episode 1, but I'm going to do a little bit deeper dive into how I got started with all of my various side hustles. So if you listen to the first podcast episode of Rich Teachers, you know that the first side hustle that I fell into was actually reselling. For me, I started reselling on a platform called Poshmark, and I started with $0 down because what I did was I went through my closet, my husband's closet, my daughter's closet, who was like 3 at the time, and I just started listing things on Poshmark that we no longer wore. Stuff that didn't fit us as well anymore, things that obviously my daughter had outgrown, clothes that just didn't align with our fashion aesthetic at that point, I guess. And all I needed to get those items listed on Poshmark was my phone. I just needed my phone. I would try to take pictures in my house of the items where I got the most natural light. So a lot of times I took pictures in our like family room area. Sometimes I would take pictures in my daughter's room because she always got really good light in her room. But I would just lay the items on the floor, take the best pictures that I could, and I would throw them up online, and all of that cost $0. Even when I finally started shipping items and I had to, go ahead and ship these things out, I got free shipping supplies from USPS because that's something that you can do when you sell on Poshmark. You can use priority mail shipping supplies, you can use regional boxes, and you can also just reuse shipping supplies that are used to send things to your house from places like Amazon or, just if you do any online shopping, you can save all those poly mailers and boxes and reuse them when you ship out your Poshmark sales. So I didn't have to spend any money when it came to shipping items out, and I would just find like little post-its around the house or little thank you cards that we had left over. And I would just write little thank you notes when people made purchases from me. And I believe I just printed labels from our printer at home. So I guess if you don't have a printer at home, that would possibly be an expense that you would have to pay for at the beginning is, either getting a printer and printer paper or even going to like your local library and paying like the 10 cents that it costs to print something out there. But at the beginning, I was able to start reselling and not spend a single dollar on anything, including the inventory that I was selling. Now, once I got deeper and deeper into reselling, yes, I did start spending some money. Firstly, is that a word? First on inventory, because quickly we ran out of things from our own house to sell. So I started going to places like thrift stores and garage sales and consignment stores to buy items for as cheap as possible that I could then flip online for as much as possible. And the more I got into it, I did start spending money on things like a thermal label printer. That was probably my first big expense. I think I spent like $200 or $300 on a Dymo label printer. They were having some sort of great sale on Amazon. And at that point, my husband and I were like, yes, I have done enough now where, we can justify purchasing this label printer that is going to save so much time and energy. And along with that, I bought some extra labels and stuff. But that was probably my first big purchase when it came to reselling. After that, I don't know, I spent money on things like bins for organization. I spent money on hangers. I spent money on light boxes. That was probably my next big purchase, was just like a box that was lit from within so that I could take pictures of items without having to rely on natural light. I don't know. I've bought things here and there. I had a friend create a custom thank you card for me, and I'll print those through Vistaprint every once in a while. But generally speaking, I have not put a lot of money into my reselling business, and I have gotten a lot out. In the year 2024, I actually misspoke in my first episode when I said I made $23,000 from reselling. My profit in 2024 from reselling alone was actually around 26,000, and I was able to do that without having to spend a lot of money at the beginning. So that's my first example of how you just don't really have to spend a lot in order to make a lot. The second side hustle that I wanted to talk about in today's episode is YouTube. Again, I think a lot of people think to themselves, well, if I'm going to start a YouTube channel, then I need to drop a lot of money on a nice camera. I need to get a nice microphone. I need to get a really expensive video editing software. But let me paint a picture for you of what it was like when I started my YouTube channel. Again, if you listen to my first podcast episode, you know that I had a friend who came and did my first few episodes. So if you were to go to my YouTube channel for my reselling business, and if you ever wanted to check that out, you can just search Becky Park Co. or literally search like Becky Park on Poshmark on YouTube, and you'll find my YouTube channel about reselling. But if you go all the way back to my first 3 episodes, you're going to think to yourself, man, these are pretty good. The video quality is crystal clear. There are lots of little like graphics that pop in and out. There's like a little trailer for the channel that plays at the beginning of every video. Everything just looks pretty good, and that's all because of my friend. But if you remember from that episode, after he did my first 3 videos, he was like, listen, I don't actually have the time to run your channel for you anymore. So I was left to figure it out by myself. And all I had when he deserted me was a super old phone, a super old MacBook, and iMovie, which is a free video editing software that comes with all MacBooks. I had a little experience, not so much with video editing, but with just editing sound, because I would use GarageBand pretty often as a choir teacher. I would make recordings of the students. I would even, use it for myself. I would write songs and just make little edits here and there. I knew how to splice. I knew how to, play with the effects a little bit. And I knew, most importantly, how to look at the sound waves, how to know, okay, like right here, there's silence, so I can cut there, or how to pick out where there was a hard consonant and how to, make a cut right after that, or to even edit that hard consonant so it wasn't quite as harsh. I knew a little bit about editing sound because of my experience with GarageBand. iMovie was completely different though, because now you've got the video piece of it. But at the beginning, and even now when I edit videos, I'm paying attention to where the sound waves are. I'm paying attention to where I can make my cuts based off of where it makes the most sense in the sound. So you're not getting interruptions in the midst of words. That is one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to the way that people edit their videos. So those were the 3 things that I had at the beginning. I didn't have a ring light. I didn't have a nice camera. I just had this crappy iPhone that was many generations old, and like I said, an older MacBook. And what I learned very quickly at the beginning that really almost destroyed me and caused me to quit YouTube altogether after my first 3 videos, I learned that while I could film longer videos on my phone, I was not able to transfer files that big from my phone to my laptop because of how old my laptop was, because of how little space my laptop had. And my husband and I tried so many things. We tried deleting as much as we could off of my MacBook so that there'd be more room to receive these larger files, but my laptop wasn't having it. My laptop was not willing to receive these videos that were 30, 40 minutes long. And so what I tried was recording a 2-minute video. I was like, let me just, do the first 2 minutes of this video and see if I can send that to my laptop. I recorded the 2-minute video. I tried sending it to my laptop, and my laptop received it. So I looked at my husband and I said, I guess I'm going to have to just film these videos in like 2 to 3 minute segments. And that's what I did for like the first 50 to 100 videos, I want to say. For the first 50 to 100 videos, I literally sat there with my phone propped up on like 3 different boxes and 2 textbooks to get it at the right height. I would sit in front of a window so that I could get the best lighting possible. And I would film these 30 to 40, sometimes hour-long videos in 2 to 3 minute chunks and send them to my laptop that way. And even then, it was kind of dicey. Even then, my laptop would sometimes get temperamental and decide that it didn't want to accept those videos, and we'd have to try all these different things. I remember definitely editing a handful of videos on my husband's laptop because my laptop just wasn't able to do it. And that's what the first 2 years of my YouTube journey looked like. The contrast between the videos that my friend filmed for me and the videos that I had to hodgepodge together myself is huge. The contrast is ridiculous. And I'm sure like the OG viewers of my channel at that time were like, oh my gosh, what happened? Why is the quality of her channel going downhill so fast? But I just made it work. And it was a lot of sleepless nights. It was a lot of frustrating hours of just trying to get everything from my phone to my laptop. But I trudged on and I would upload 2 to 3 videos a week, even when it was that hard. So I want you to imagine me sitting in our guest bedroom of our house, because that was the room that was the cleanest at the time. That was the room that had pretty decent natural light from the window. I would sit against the frame of the bed. I would have my phone stacked on top of all of these boxes and books, and I would talk at it for 2 to 3 minutes, stop the video, hit record again, speak at it for another 2 to 3 minutes, stop the video, start it again. And I did this for at least a couple years. I think the moment when my husband and I decided to finally upgrade my YouTube equipment is when my MacBook finally died. Video editing is very stressful on a MacBook or any laptop in particular. It really kind of causes it to age quicker than if you're just using a MacBook to like do spreadsheets and search the web. Like if that's all you're doing, you can use your MacBook for like 10 years, I think. But if you are editing video after video on that thing, it's just going to have a shorter lifespan. And my MacBook was already close to its death. And after doing what we could for the next 2 years to continue editing videos on it, it finally just died on me. Like it was no longer usable. And so at that point, my husband was like, well, we got to get you a new MacBook. And maybe this is the time to get you an actual camera as well, instead of having to use your iPhone. And so I got the vlogging camera that most people get when they start their YouTube channels. It is the Sony ZV-1. I got this on December 7th, 2021. It was my Christmas present that year. And I also got, like I said, a new MacBook. And that changed my life. However, I'm going to confess that to this day, I still just use iMovie. I did try Adobe Premiere and it was fine. I tried it with like a free student trial. I just didn't want to take the time that it took to really learn how to use that software. So I honestly still edit using iMovie. At some point, I need to graduate to something a little bit more sophisticated, but I still use the free software that comes with MacBooks. And actually, I lied. My very first purchase that I made for my YouTube channel was a ring light. I purchased a little cheapo ring light that had like a phone stand in it as well. So you could put your phone in the ring light, and the ring light also acted as a tripod, and the phone just lived in the center of the light. And so it was a really great way to just add a little bit of light to my face for my videos. I believe it cost under like $30. And I still remember like the first video where I filmed using the ring light, someone commented and was like, oh my gosh, like your videos look so much better. Like, what did you change? And I was like, a $30 ring light. So that was actually my very first purchase. And to this day, I still just use a little cheapo ring light to just put a little light on my face. When I can, I try to film in my kitchen, which actually has some really great natural light, but it's a hard place to film in with a family because usually there are kids running around and being crazy loud and doing crazy things. But I was able to monetize my YouTube channel. I was able to grow it to like, I want to say I had like 10 to 20,000 subscribers before I ever purchased an actual camera and a new MacBook. So you can do a lot even with just your phone and a MacBook. And actually, you can even just do a lot with your phone, period. You don't even have to transfer things from your phone to your laptop. You can actually use iMovie on your phone itself. Or there are a lot of other really great free video editing apps that you can get for iPhone and Android. Because of my experience with GarageBand, I knew that it would just be faster and easier for me to do it on my laptop. I also didn't want to like strain my eyes and get arthritis in my hands by like trying to, zoom in and do things on my phone. I knew that that would just be a lot more difficult for me, which is why I always transferred everything to my laptop so that I could edit from my laptop. But you can grow a thriving YouTube channel with just your phone if that's all you have. And like I shared in my first podcast episode, in the year 2024, I made a little over $23,000 from YouTube, and that's just from Google AdSense. That doesn't include the amount that I earn from creating sponsored content or any of that sort of stuff, which segues us nicely into my final side hustle, which is affiliate marketing. And I am just going to say that from the beginning, affiliate marketing cost me nothing to get started with. And to this day, affiliate marketing costs nothing. I don't pay anything out of pocket in order to be an affiliate for the different companies that I do affiliate marketing for. And furthermore, Affiliate marketing is by far my most lucrative side hustle. In the year 2024, I made around $100,000 just from affiliate marketing. And affiliate marketing is great for so many reasons. First of all, I would say of everything that I just stated, it is the most passive form of income. Whether you're talking about a company and throwing your link in the description of a YouTube video, or whether you talk about it on social media, maybe on Instagram or TikTok, whether you throw that link in a blog, once you put the link there, as long as that content lives online, there is an opportunity for someone to click on that link, make that purchase, and put some money in your bank account. Another really great thing about affiliate marketing is that oftentimes, if brands reach out to you about an affiliate marketing opportunity, they will actually send you that product for free as well. So you don't even have the upfront cost of having to purchase that item in order to talk about it and review it on your channel or on social media in order for people to click on your link. The first company that I became an affiliate for, and the one that has proven to be the most lucrative thus far, it is actually an online software. And to be honest, I found out about this company before I even knew what affiliate marketing was. And so I remember I did pay the monthly subscription fee for this service for probably a little under a year. And during that time, I just would talk about this product all the time on my YouTube channel. And so many people signed up for this subscription with this Chrome extension because of me. And the company traced a lot of these leads back to me, and they were like, holy cow, lady, like you are sending us a lot of business. Let's partner together. Let's collaborate. And one of the things that they offered me was this product for free for life, which was huge because I've probably been using this product now for like 5 years. And for 4 of those years, I was getting that product for free instead of having to pay that monthly subscription of, let's see, the tier that I use, I think it would come out to like $80 or $90 a month. But I get that for free. Plus, I make thousands per month because of my affiliate link. So that's an example of a product that I did pay for at first, but because I was bringing them so much business, they were like, hey, we're just going to give it to you for free. Please just keep talking about us. Please just keep sending us business. And not only do I benefit from not having to pay for this service on a monthly basis, but the company benefits as well because I am sending them so many new customers on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. So that's how I entered the world of affiliate marketing, was with this one software. And since then, I have done affiliate marketing for a bunch of different companies, and they've all looked kind of different ways. But one commonality is that for the most part, those companies will send you the product first so that you can try it out, you can review it, you can make sure it aligns with you and your brand. And once you've established that, once you're like, yes, this is a product that I can definitely talk about on my channel or on social media or in my blog, then they'll give you a link. They'll kind of give you some instructions on the key points that they want you to hit when it comes to talking about their product. And then you throw that link up, hope that people make a few purchases, and you've got some money in the bank. Now, while affiliate marketing is definitely my favorite way to make money, it's passive. Generally there's no limit to how much you can earn. It is difficult to make money as an affiliate if you don't have an audience to share that product with. And so while it is my favorite way of making money, it is definitely something that you have to grow into. You have to make sure that you have somewhat of an audience somewhere, whether it's in blog form, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on TikTok, whether it's a podcast. You want to make sure that you have a captive audience so that you can actually get people to click on your affiliate link. So these are just the ways that I got started with my various side hustles with $0 down. And I know that that model doesn't work for all side hustle beginnings. For example, if you are wanting to start a cake business, like maybe you're really good at making cakes, you're really good at decorating them, you're really good at making these beautiful masterpieces, and perhaps people want to hire you to make their wedding cakes and things like that. I imagine there is an upfront cost to that, even if it's just for the ingredients to make that cake. Or let's say you want to start a lawn care side hustle in the summer when you're not teaching. That obviously is going to require some tools. I'm assuming you're going to need like a lawnmower, you're going to need some pruning shears, you're going to need some fertilizer. You're going to need the tools necessary in order to run this lawn maintenance business. So I understand that my specific examples of starting my reselling business, my YouTube channel, affiliate marketing, I understand that you may not be able to apply those same principles to all side hustles, but I do think that there's always a way to start as frugally as possible, to start with as little personal investment as possible. I think where a lot of people get burned is they say things like, I want to start a YouTube channel. In order for me to get started, I need this $500 camera. I need this $200 tripod. I need this video editing software that costs $300. And they spend all of this money. They sit down to make their first few videos and they realize that they hate it. Or they get started and they really just can't really gain any momentum. They're super duper in the red and there isn't really a clear path to how they're going to make money doing this. And then on top of that, if you're in a position like I am where, I'm married, I've got a kid, and this is a topic that I definitely want to make an episode about later, but you also have that difficult piece when it comes to starting a business of getting buy-in from your partner, getting buy-in from your family. Because even if you are smart with your time and you're efficient with your time, the truth is they're going to see a little bit or a lot less of you because of this new venture. And if you are spending time away from them and just kind of losing money instead of making money, that is the perfect recipe for just a lot of added stress and anxiety and friction within any household. And that's definitely something that you want to avoid. If anything, you want to start making money as quickly as possible with your side hustle so that it's easier to get buy-in from all of those people around you and they kind of let you do your thing, because they're seeing money hit that bank account and you're proving to them that this is something that could potentially change your lives for the better. I don't know. It could be the Asian in me. I'm Korean. And furthermore, my parents who immigrated here from Korea in their 20s, they just never had a lot of money growing up. My dad is a pastor. My mom worked for USPS for many years, and we just always had enough to get by. And I'm also married to a Korean man who grew up in a very similar setting to me. I understand the phrase, it takes money to make money. I just never had money to begin with. I didn't have money from the get-go to put into something to try to make more money out of it. I really always had to start with nothing. And the great news is that I learned you can start with nothing and grow it into something huge and amazing and life-changing. Now that I've kind of traveled back in time to when I first started my side hustles, I would love to hear from you. What are the things getting in the way of you starting or growing your side hustle? I'd also love to hear if there are any other topics that you would love for me to speak on this podcast. And I will have my email down in the show notes or in the description of this video where you can send me, your questions, just the different ways that you're struggling with your side hustle. Again, I want to be a resource to you. I want to be your biggest cheerleader. I remember what it felt like looking at our bills and our mortgage payment and wondering, but how are we going to pay for those? Where does that money come from? I remember that place of desperation. And that's where my side hustles were born from, was from that desperate feeling of how are we going to get by? And the point of this podcast is to kind of hold your hand and say, listen, I've been there too. This is how I got out. This is how I was able to build something that I'm so proud of and something that has changed my and my family's life. I want to help you do the same. So if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, or if you're watching on YouTube, definitely subscribe on YouTube. You can hit that like button. You can leave a review. Oh my goodness, reviews help out the podcast so much. So if you're willing to leave a 5-star review, I would appreciate you for the rest of my life if you are able to do that. And as always, from me to you, thank you for being a teacher. Thank you for changing the lives of your students. I'll see you in the next one.